Your Honor, Alondra Hobbs is before the court today to take responsibility and not to run from it. In meeting with her several times, she has made her wishes to me very clear. She does not want me to make excuses for what she's done. She does not want a trial. She wants to take responsibility. It's something that she has not done in certain moments of this investigation to detectives and before. It is something she wishes to do now. And in a case like this, there are not excuses that I think ultimately would matter. There's not mitigation that makes this okay. There are not any circumstances in someone's life that would be a worthy justification. But Alondra Hobbs needs to be spoken for. The details of her life do matter. Her circumstances in life should be considered as we ask the court to levy a sentence that is not justice just in its strictest form, but justice tempered with dignity and mercy. Alondra grew up in a very difficult environment. She grew up in foster care, beginning when she was very young. She went from house to house. She experienced significant amounts of abuse before and during her time in foster care. Eventually, she is adopted along with her sister and brother and raised by her adopted family. She was having difficulties in school, in high school, so her adopted mother enrolled her in a youth academy in South Georgia. There she earned her GED. She then continued on into Job Corps. While she was there, she met Olivia's father and became pregnant. She moved back home with her adopted family, and that's where she had Olivia. Olivia's father has never been involved. Olivia was born in 2015. As the court heard, Olivia did suffer from serious medical issues. She did experience seizures. For a 19-year-old mother, without much help, this was very difficult. Alondra began working. She was working at fast food restaurants, working at temp agencies, things like that. After Olivia was born, Alondra met Cameron Hobbs, who's the father of her second child, Harmony. This was a very inconsistent and abusive relationship as well. She then had Harmony in 2019 and Hope in 2021. Around this time, Alondra began experiencing the beginnings of an undiagnosed mental health issue. She was later diagnosed and medicated for a short amount of time, but when she wasn't, there were very difficult stretches of her life. She was a very young, often single mother who found herself relying on abusive relationships that were inconsistent and unstable. She often found herself experiencing a mental health crisis. She began to turn towards substances and abusing those substances, all while having a daughter with severe medical issues and 2 other babies. She found herself unable to get to appointments, unable to provide, and during these periods she would often self-harm. We have spoken with Alondra's adoptive parents. We've spoken with her siblings. These are people who knew Olivia since she was born. They love that little girl. They know the allegations of this case. I made sure of it. And still, when asked about what type of mother Alondra was, they say the same thing. Alondra was, in their view, a gentle mother. She was kind and loving. Her kids were clean. Her kids were fed. Her kids were cared for. The state gives references a defects case that seems that Cameron called defects and made a really intense allegation of neglect and abuse. DFACS responded and found that unsubstantiated. So DFACS found them cared for, clean, fed. Cynthia Williams, Alondra's adopted mother, told me, and it stuck out to her, that Alondra was never ashamed of Olivia's health issues, that she involved her in church activities or other events just like all the other children. She treated her the same as every other child and wished her to be treated that way, and that she loved her. Cynthia described Olivia as very active, that she did not say many words, but she would play and laugh often. She said she ate a lot, but she was always really skinny. She said that she was happy, that she was loved. The family knows the allegations in this case. They know the facts. They know what happened. And they are still in disbelief. And it's not because they have a perfect relationship with Alondra. They don't. When Alondra began experiencing, I think when this bipolar condition started manifesting, she was very inconsistent with her family, with relationships. This is not a case where I think they would put their opinion of Alondra over Olivia. The family is still in disbelief. In some ways, Alondra is still in disbelief. It's been 2 years, and even today, she doesn't know, in her words, what carried her so far away from herself. She knows she was there in her darkest. She remembers being there. She doesn't know how it got so bad and so dark. She still can't say why it went so far, why she didn't take another opportunity. She can't say, and she hates herself for it. She's attempted to take her own life, and she has self-harmed, and she has not stopped grieving for the loss of her daughter and for her own actions. I've known Alondra for almost 2 years, and I speak for myself and for my colleagues, investigators, social workers, paralegals. Everyone that has worked with Alondra agrees she's polite and she's kind, she's soft-spoken. She has been treated in the jail for her mental health and has been medicated. And the Alondra that I know is a different person than the Alondra in that video with detectives. I've watched that video several times, and I have difficulty reconciling the two people. Alondra feels deep remorse and guilt. She has never wanted a trial. We've never had a bond hearing. She wants to atone for what she did, and she is seeking some mercy. Even with the tragic facts of this case, and they're beyond. A person who confesses, a person with remorse, a person who begs for mercy should find some in our system. We are asking that the court sentence her to a sentence of life with the possibility of parole, a sentence that carries some hope, some mercy, and some dignity. Alondra Hobbs wishes to atone and wishes to take responsibility, and she presents herself to the court and begs for that mercy.